Hello, fellow old schoolers, and welcome to this match. This is the first match of my new deck, I've dubbed Skynet, and I've been really looking forward to this because this is like the maiden voyage of it. And I hooked up with my mate Kåre, who has like a great collection, really sick collection of old school cards, and he can brew whatever he wants. And he has made a rather sweet Eureka deck that he took to the tournament of the Mountain of Madness a few weekends ago. I didn't attend the tournament myself as we were in quarantine as the kids were a bit ill, but it turned out just to be a regular cold. So nothing to worry about, but it made it so that I couldn't participate in two tournaments actually. The other one being DOS, Danish Old School in Copenhagen. So pretty damn annoying, but at least we get to play him here. And I'm just going to go over his deck. I don't have a deck picture of it here, but I'm thinking about making an archetype spotlight on his Eureka deck because Eureka is pretty damn sweet, and making it work as a tournament deck is also very interesting. So it could be cool to go more in depth later on. But let's go over his deck real quick here. And Kåre's Eureka deck is blue and green and red. And first of all, it uses a lot of really fat beaters from various groupings. We have the Serendipity Freed from Arabian Nights, and we have the legendary Shivan Dragon from just, the basic series. So he won't be too hurt by City in a Bottle. And we also have 4 Triskelions and 4 Sushis as artifact creatures, but they are the only artifact creatures, so he won't be too screwed over by Energy Fluxen either. So just very light on his feet, dipping into Arabian Nights and into artifact creatures. He also uses copy artifacts and clones just to really copy these big expensive creatures and overwhelm the opponent through sheer creature size here. He can hardcast these big creatures as he is fully powered with Moxen and Lotus. He can cast them pretty fast, but he also uses Wild Growth just to accelerate his mana production, and Mistress Workshopper as well. I think the Wild Growth is because all his creatures are immune to lightning bolts. They have 4 in toughness and above. So if you put in Llanowar Elves or Birds of Paradise, they would just function as lightning rods for the lightning bolts, chain lightnings, etc. From the opponent. So instead he has opted for the Wild Growth strategy here. And he can also cast them with Eureka. And Eureka is a very, very interesting card. You play it and then you and your opponent takes turns to just put down permanents, and these can't be countered. They're free to play. You'll just keep on going until no one can play any more permanents. So you can play as many lands as you want as well, while Eureka is in effect. The rule where you're only allowed to play 1 land each turn is not in effect while the Eureka is in effect. You can also play all sorts of other permanents like artifacts, enchantments, and of course creatures. Yeah, of course the opponent will get a few creatures out, but it won't matter as much to the Eureka deck if his beaters are way stronger than the other guys. And that's his overall strategy here. He won't mind the other guys' creatures. He doesn't have any removal besides the Chaos Orb, I think. It instead relies upon him having a lot stronger creatures than his opponent and just overpowering him through those. So yeah, that's a pretty brief rundown of what makes the Eureka deck tick. It's pretty damn interesting, I think, like a sledgehammer. But so it's a top 8 deck from the most recent tournament here, as said. So Skynet will have its work cut out for it in this first showdown for it. But yeah, it'll be great practice, I think. Let's go over Skynet. Skynet is my newest brew on the channel, and it hasn't really been played yet and hasn't been play tested at all. The overall idea is just a bunch of robots like Sushi, Triskelions, and Tetravis trying to work with under Winter Orbs and Armageddons and Black Wises. And the Winter Orb will function in that all players are only allowed to untap a single land each untap phase, and Armageddon will destroy all the lands. So having alternative mana sources than land will make it so I won't be affected as much by it as my opponent. So the idea here is sort of like an Armageddon deck, but instead of all the mana creatures, I use Felver Stones and Moxen and stuff like that as alternative mana sources. And I also use a bunch of Icy Manipulators just to freeze the board state down and tap my own Winter Orb before it's my turn. And that is a pretty nice combination because the Winter Orb won't have any effect once it's tapped. So I'll be able to untap all my lands, and then it will be untapped, ready for my opponent. So it will still affect him. I also use the Icy for try to provide some control over the board state, tapping the other guy's creatures, etc. And so in essence, I'm trying to brew like a combination between a mid-range robot deck that just try to punch the other guy down with these robots, and a prison deck with Armageddons and Black Wises and Winter Orb, trying to synergize these two elements. And of course, an Armageddon after a quick robot is also a very valid play, I hope. I mean, an Armageddon makes that work all the time, so why not, right? Let's get ready for the battle here. So the Eureka deck is on the left here, starting off with a Mistress Workshop into Sovereign here. And I have on Skynet on the right a Library of Alexandria turn 1. Second turn here, Sushi coming out. And there's one colorless mana floating, and look at that, time walking and punching me in the face. Wow, what a start here in the first turn of Skynet. Just a Sushi straight over. Another City of Brass. And a Wild Growth. So look at that mana base of his. He can produce 6 mana in the second turn here. And has already punched me for 4 with the creature out. Hello. Okay, trying to disenchant his Sushi. I had 8 cards in hand at this point as I drew with the library at his end step. Triskelion coming out here. So scratch that. He has 8 mana in his second turn. Not 6. So just keep on applying the pressure. I mean, I'm supposed to play those robots. What's going on here? So giving it a good think here. I need to do something. I can't keep drawing with that library, or I'll get overrun. Okay, playing the balance here. I have 3 lands, and so does he, but he gets rid of the Triskelion and he shoots me with it just before it dies. And I have to discard a bunch of cards here. Let's see, the Abyss and 2 Factories and an Icy Manipulator. That's pretty rough because I had to balance, but I can Ancestral Recall. I could keep 2 cards in hand, and one of them was the Ancestral Recall. So trying to get back into Library of Alexandria range here. I'm at 5 cards now. So he plays the Eureka the following turn here. So, and there's a Shivan Dragon. Oh man, that's a thing of beauty. So yeah, I gotta commit now. I mean, everything is free. So I gotta empty my hand. Cloning the Shivan Dragon. Wow. Factory coming out here. Look at my puny creatures compared to his Sorrowing. And that's it. That's all I have. So now I'm definitely out of Library of Alexandria range, but I had to do this. I had to commit. Putting out a Triskelion as well here. This is very interesting. Look at this. I can now attack with the Sushi, and if he blocks with one of his Shivan Dragons, I can just shoot it with that Triskelion, and he'll have to trade one of those pretty dragons for a Sushi. So he likely won't want to do that. Now, he's in a bit of a dilemma here, because if he attacks with both Shivan Dragon, he can pump them with the Cities of Brass, but he'll only provide 12 points of damage, and I'm at 13, so I'll survive on 1 point of life, and he will take 2 points of damage. And my counter attack will be a Sushi, a Triskelion, and a Factory for 10 points of damage, and then I can shoot him with a Triskelion and just kill him. So if you're all out here, I'll actually win because I have just a single point of life too much. One viable way to play here could be to attack with just a single Shivan dragon, and then I would attack with probably the sushi and the factory the turn after, and he would trade with his Shivan, one of them, and then he could attack again with the last. But he doesn't do that. He plays a time twister here. So I should have dropped that black-wise I had in hand. So we draw into a new hand here. He wants to have something, trying to make something work here in order to kill me, I suppose. I don't think he's made a land drop yet. So, but he has used one of his red mana sources, so he can't drop a tiger and kill me. But look at that. Black Lotus coming over, burning the Lotus for 3 red mana. That's 13 points of damage. Just, yeah, what an ending. 2 Shivan dragons straight to the face, pumped by a Black Lotus. That's old school. Really, really pimp. So Eureka wins the first one. Just overwhelming me, but it was pretty close. So I'm tweaking the deck a bit here. It's still too many cards in it. I think it's about 65 cards. So tweaking it down to about 63 here, I think. Okay, starting off with an Emerald and a Black Lotus here. That's a good start. Oh, but look at that. I'm mana starved. I don't have a second land drop. Sol Ring though. So, oh, he Ancestrals. Okay, but I cracked the Lotus and mana drains it. It gives me a single point of mana. I mean, it won't be that much, but I had to stop his Ancestral Recall, even though it cost me that Black Lotus. Another viable option could have been just to let him cast the Ancestral successfully and then mana drain something big. But I didn't. I wouldn't dare. He could draw into a Strip Mine or something. That would just be brutal. He copy artifacts my Sol Ring here, I think. So we have an extra mana from the mana drain, and that would provide an Icy Manipulator. And in his upkeep, I'll have a mana to tap his City of Brass, so he can't use it, and he'll even take a single point of damage from the tapped City of Brass. Oh, but there's a sushi. I probably should have tapped his Sol Ring, actually. Instead of trying to do damage to him, just go for... Oh, look at this. Mind Twisting for 3 here. Wheel of Fortune, Triskelion, and Blood Moon. That's pretty nice. Though I am completely tapped out, so I'll take a damage from that sushi. Look at this hand. Copy Artifact, Icy Manipulator, Triskelion, and sushi. If only I had more mana. It's a good hand. So here he comes. So I actually traded 4 life just to Mind Twist as many cards as I could. Cloning the sushi here. Okay, drew into a library. I need that mana. Getting out a sushi of my own. Another play would have been to get a second Icy from that hand, but I wouldn't have enough mana to tap both sushis, so he would get in again. And this way I can hopefully keep him off my back a bit here. As I'll have a blocker and the mana, a single mana up for the Icy Manipulator. So he attacks, I tap one of the sushis, and he still attacks, so we trade. Both sushis just knocking each other out here. And, oh, okay, he cast Demonic Tutor here. I wonder what he'll get. City of Brass coming down. And the Sol Ring, there's a Serenity Be Freed coming out. I really need a mana here. Hopefully a blue mana so I can cast Copy Artifacts on the Icy. But I can't. No blue mana. So we get down the second Icy. I only have a single mana left untapped to tap one of the attackers, but in the following round I'll be able to hold them back. It does cost mana each turn though, so it'll reduce what I can cast here if I want to have mana ready for those to fuel those Icy Manipulators. But this is the Nuclear Winter of Skynet here. So freezing his robot down, and the Jinn or the Ifrit comes over, just saying hello for 3 points. Oh no, that's 6 mana. Shivan or no, Triskelion coming out, and he can actually shoot me for 3 already. So every time I Tuscullian hits the table, that's 3 damage. Okay, Winter Orb coming out. It's a brutal time to play it because he's completely tapped out here. And I'm not even tapping a single land. So he goes into his attack step. I use the library and the Mox just to tap 2 of the robots, and that Ifrit gets in again. 10 points of life left. Casting Blood Moon here. Won't bother me that much, but I can't get into blue mana now and cast Copy Artifact. It's annoying. I can't draw a single land to save my life here. That's my hand. 2 Copy Artifacts and Armageddon, and I think there was some sort of robot. It would have been nice to cast Armageddon here as he has so many lands and I don't really have any. So he attacks again. I tap both creatures and the Ifrit gets in. It's 7 points of life. Oh, that's a Chaos Orb. He'll likely try to Chaos Orb one of the Ices now. Yep, that's a pretty fast flip. There goes the Icy. Okay, so we need to get some good stuff here. I'll be overrun. There's a balance. No, but I can't play it because of the Blood Moon. The Scrubland is a mountain, so yeah, I gotta forfeit the game here. Next turn he'll crush me. Okay, we got some mana sources here. I think there's a little less mana in the deck for now because there is mana enough for 60 cards, but the deck is actually 65 or 64. So just continuing to tweak the deck here between the rounds. There are no sideboards between these rounds. We're just trying to tweak Skynet for this matchup. Here's my hand in this 3rd round. Black and a green Mox, an Underground Sea, a Triskelion, a Mana Drain, a Chaos Orb, and a Sushi. So there's more speed in that hand than the other hand, but still only a single land. There was that Mana Drain though, so if I get a double blue mana out, the play here would be just to try and use the Mana Drain for tempo to get some stuff out, get like a Sushi or Triskelion out. Okay, Chaos Orb coming out here, turn 1, and I actually have a mana on tap, so even if he shatters it now, I can actually use the Chaos Orb as a response, so he likely won't try to do that. No mana, but I'm copying the Chaos Orb here. Considering cracking his Tiger properly, or his Mox, but I won't. Centipede coming out. It's good to have a couple of Chaos Orbs in the bank, just as a fail-safe here, but I need... Okay, there's another land. Thank goodness. So 2 Underground Sea. We actually have double blue mana now to use for that Mana Drain. Okay, look at this. In his upkeep, after he has taken his damage, I Chaos Orb his Serenity Befried. At this point, I'm pretty sure he doesn't play with Shatters. I haven't seen any removal from him. He's just trying to overwhelm me. Another Serenity Befried getting immediately Mana Drained here. I needed that mana just to... Yeah, and that's very, very nice play. For the first time here, Skynet is on the offensive, countering him and using that mana to get out of Triskelion of my own. Okay, he cracks a Black Lotus here, and there's a Triskelion for a mirror matchup here between the 2. At his end step, I use my last Chaos Orb on it, and he shoots me as a response with all the counters. Okay, here we go. All the Chaos Orbs are gone now, but they have been worth their weight in gold here. Scrubland coming out just outside the camera angle here. Attacking with the Triskelion, and now there's enough mana to get the Sushi out. So really punching back here. Another Triskelion. How did he cast that though? I think that's a mistake. Okay, yeah, it's a clone. He clones my Triskelion. Fair enough. So I suppose I could attack with my Sushi and just like make him trade if he wants to. A Sushi for a Triskelion, that's a pretty good trade, I think. Okay, tapping the Scrubland and the Emerald, disenchanting his Triskelion. That's pretty lucky. So he shoots me again with that damn robot, and I come over for 8 points of damage, and he forfeits the game. I even have the IC to back it up. And remember, next turn I could just punch in again and then shoot him with the Triskelion. So yeah, it's 2-1 here. Skynet just made a slight comeback here. Round 4, no sideboard, just a lot of tweaking here between the rounds. Okay, Serenity Befried coming out. Turn 1 from him. Oh my lord. Okay, but there's a Library of Alexandria for me, drawing immediately and playing a Mox Emerald. So I need to buy some time here just to get the draw engine going. Oh, Ancestral Recall again from him, such a strong start again. He draws that Ancestral quite a lot. Playing a Tiger, passing the turn. Okay, Workshop coming down, drawing another card with that Library of Alexandria. Oh yeah, that's a Sol Ring played by that Mistress Workshop. And a Felver Stone outside the camera angle at the moment. So I'm at 6 cards now. Really considering something here. I think I'm tapping the Sol Ring, the Felver Stone, and the Mox, and playing a Yimdai Tomb outside the camera angle. They'll get in later on, as far as I remember. So I'm at 5 cards. I'm outside the draw. Yeah, that's a tome. I can't draw with the library anymore, but I need to draw a lot of cards here. There's a Triskelion. I need to make something happen. I mean, I might draw into death here, as I'm only drawing cards at this point and not really doing anything. Drawing, reading with a book, getting within library range from the Yimdai Tome. 7 cards in hand, reading even more. I don't have an answer, so that's why I'm digging for something here. Tundra coming out. Another book. Oh, it would have been better with an IC manipulator or something here. Or sushi. But, yeah. We have the books. Here they come. 7 points of damage, and that Trisk can shoot me at any point it wants to. So I've already taken... it can shoot me for 3. And I'll be at 4 life. Skynet just processing data here. While these robots are shooting me down. So another Triskelion, that's 6 points of damage at any point. I'll be at 1 point of life here if he uses them. So if I take a single point of damage more, I'll be dead. As the Trisks will just finish the job. Drawing with the library here. Close to the end for Skynet. Playing a factory, I suppose it can block one of the Trisks. Okay, time walking here. And drawing with the book at the end step of the first turn. As the second turn here. Yeah, so Skynet, as said, it just likes to process a lot of data here while it's getting wrecked by monsters. Okay, second factory coming out. At least they can be sacrificed against the attackers, but that certainly be freed is a flyer. Okay, Demonic Tutor. I'm using the Felver Stone for Demonic Tutors. I don't have black mana, but he has that City of Brass on his side, so the Felver Stone can provide any color I want. So, Demonic Tutor here. Playing a Mox Emerald. That's the balance. I tutored for that. He just shoots with all guns here, putting me down to 1 point of life from after the fusillade of those Triskelions. I have to sacrifice a single land. I'm sacrificing the Library of Alexandria because I gotta discard some cards as well, and I would like to keep that workshop and those factories just to try and get some momentum back here. I need to finish the game fast here before he draws into something that can kill me. Attacking with one of the factories and pumping it for 3 points of damage, and that's a sushi. Okay, so getting a counterpunch and discarding a couple of Tundras after that balance. I had forgotten that, but so that's why I got rid of that library, as he had fewer cards in hand than I had. Obviously, I drew so many cards. I have a hefty card advantage at this point. There's a wild growth he drew into, but I'm at 1 point of life. Blood Moon here. Now, normally that wouldn't really hurt me that much, but it does make the factories into mountains, and the workshop is a mountain as well, so it won't produce as much mana as it usually does, and I can't attack with the factories anymore. Another sushi coming out. And an Icy Manipulator. Attacking one of the sushis. The one that didn't have Summoning Sickness. And in his upkeep here, yeah, it's a bit of a dilemma. I could tap his Sapphire in order to hold him out of blue, but he has already used his Ancestral Recall and his Time Walk. And if I tap his Workshop, even though it's just a mountain after that Blood Moon, it still will provide him 2 mana. And his out here is a Triskelion, or a Shivan Dragon. And that costs 6 mana, and now he only has 5. Okay, so he copies my Icy Manipulator here. So I actually have a Triskelion in hand, and I don't dare to play it because he has so many copy artifacts and clones in that deck. So he can just copy my Triskelion or clone it and just shoot me immediately. So if I play my Triskelion, it will provide a heck of a lot more outs for him. So only sushis here. Going into my attack step, he taps one of them with his copy artifact, like copied Icy, and I get in for 4 points of damage here. Really a nail biter. Drawing with the book. Drawing with another book. Didn't get anything, I presume. He's doing it. Oh, I have enough mana just to tap his Workshop again. I don't want him to have 6 mana. Okay, he forfeits the game. What a cheeky win. Look at that, 2 Shivan Dragons. So it was really good that I tapped that last Workshop. The final play here will be attacking with both sushis. He'll tap one of them. After that, I can play the Triskelion and just shoot him. He'll go down to 2 points of life, and the Triskelion can shoot him for the last couple of points of life. So yeah, Skynet took the final game here. So all in all, pretty satisfied with it. It did well, getting a 2-2 here against the Eureka deck. And kudos for Kåre for making such a strong and very, very nice Eureka deck as he has here. I really dig it. Lots of things to do, lots of things to tweak, as is usually the case with a first draft like this. But yeah, I'll get back to more games with this. I actually have some ideas, also an idea for sister deck to this. That might be on the channel as well, but we'll get back to that later on. So far, I'm signing off. Thank you for watching this maiden voyage of Skynet here, going 2-2 against the Eureka. I'll see you next time.